What is up, everyone? Hello. Welcome to the Living Forces 100th episode celebration. It's good to see all of you all here on YouTube. Our first night on the new platform. We got some flashbacks to the past. We got some looks towards the future. We got old shirts that aren't available anymore. It's going to be a great night. I'm excited. I'm dancing. I'm hyped. Wes, watch it! What is up, everyone? Welcome into the Living Force, our 100th episode. I am one of your hosts from day one, Eric Eilerson, and joining me is the full crew tonight. We have the doctors. First off, we have Dr. Corey Helton. What's up, sir?
What is happening, my friends? How are you guys doing?
I'm doing well. Happy anniversary. I didn't get you anything.
Oh, that's kind of thoughtless, but whatever.
It's okay. I was also thoughtless to Dr. Charles Henkel. Hey, buddy.
Hello there. What's up, everybody? Stoked to be here. Number 100? 100?
100.
Oh, my God.
One hundo, as it were. And it wouldn't be a hundo without the man who has been with us for, we figured it out this week, but I forgot. 70 of these? Wes Jenkins is here.
Hello, everyone. Back from Hoth, and I had this jacket on for a week because it's been 10 degrees in Texas, and I could not breathe.
I'm just glad to have you back, dude. You had a shower. You have power again. Like, you're a person now.
That's right. Had a shower is exactly correct. A shower.
Only one.
7 days.
Only one.
Well, we're so happy to have you back here, man. So happy to see everyone in the chat here tonight celebrating with us. A couple of things as we start out tonight's show. It's going to be a bit different, as you may have imagined. We're going to talk about some of our favorite Living Forest memories. We're going to talk about, we're just going to get sappy. I'm going to be real with you. It's going to get emotional. We do have some Star Wars news for you, of course. But I wanted to start off by pointing out a neat little thing I decided to do, which is, I realize, very self-congratulatory. But here we go. Next to me, I usually have the books we talk about, the latest Star Wars releases, whatever it may be. But tonight, I decided to have every book that has been released since the Living Force started next to me. Gentlemen, this is the entire stack since we started broadcasting. Wow. Now, since Youtini began, but all these have come out since episode 0.
That is crazy. We talked about almost all those except for a couple of them, right? I guess.
Yeah, this is the part where we admit that we never had the Force Collector Roundtable and just didn't tell anyone.
Yeah. I was wondering if that was ever gonna come up because we just I don't know, I don't remember why it happened, but we blew right past it. We're like, did we forget a book?
Yeah.
Yes, we did. We forgot Force Collector. We never talked about it.
And I actually read that one, so
oh my
we
God,
could have had some kind of conversation about it.
That's hilarious.
That was the issue, man. But we are here. All these have come out. It's been an incredible first 100 episodes talking about all things Star Wars, naturally. But before we go any further, if you're a live watcher or a video watcher, you may have noticed our starting soon screen was totally different. Our transitions are different. Everything looks just blue and new and cool. And Corey, give the biggest shout out in the world to our graphic designer, Ryan.
Oh my God. Dude, Ryan is so unbelievably talented. He threw all this stuff together on relatively short notice, too. I mean, he's been working on this for less than just a couple weeks, and it's incredible, man. I asked him this week, I was like, how do you know how to do all this stuff? Because it looks absolutely incredible, and we give him no instructions, just basically, hey, we want to update some stuff, and he just somehow magically makes it happen. It's incredible. So, Ryan, you're the absolute man. We couldn't be here without you. Shout out to you, man.
Absolutely. And additionally, speaking of upgrades, it only took 100 episodes, but Wes got a new mic.
Oh, yes,
you did it.
You did it.
Come on,
you did it. You did it.
And I do want to shout out that that mic is. Look at that. Yes, hit it.
So you're
Punch
buffing it. Punch it. That tiny little boom arm's barely holding it, dude.
Yeah, it's creaking. Let me tell you.
But we do want to shout out in a seamless transition our patrons for helping us update our equipment continuously. The support you give this show does things like that. So Wes's new mic isn't thanks to our Patreon community, and we want to thank Steve Storino and Christopher Bell, who just joined this week. So thank you guys so much. You made Wes happy. And come on, isn't that all we want to do? Let's make
Absolutely.
Wes Jenkins a happy boy. Wes, would you like? Oh, I couldn't finish it. My heart grew too large. Everyone. But before we get even more deep into the history of the Living Force, for some of you that may not know it, let's do a couple regular things, shall we? Let's do a good old-fashioned Star Wars weekly roundup. This is the part of the show where we tell you what's going on in Star Wars news. This could be about shows. It could be about new books. And this week, of course, it's about new books, our favorite thing to talk about on this show. As a lot of you may know, we have a little bit of a history with E.K. Johnston's Padme books. Queen Shadow has followed us throughout our history, being a curse, being a boon, being the book we've somehow talked about more than anything else on the Living Force. And now the trilogy of Padme books is finally finishing with Queen's Hope got officially announced this week. Y'all, what was your thought when we finally got the confirmation that we're finishing out the Padme trilogy?
It's super exciting. It's super exciting. E.K. Johnston has been an absolute hero. Like, everybody has really enjoyed her books on the Youtini team. We've been big fans of it. It was such a lesson. We've talked about this endlessly. It's such a lesson for us because I think initially we didn't really like the first Padme book as much. It just didn't hit us as hard. And we were super wrong. And we went back and listened to it / read it again. And it totally changed. And we absolutely loved it. I have no idea what the heck we were thinking back then. So we all were hoping it was going to be a trilogy. And I'm very pleased that it is. It's really awesome.
Yeah. And I'm especially stoked because it is confirmed to take place in the Clone Wars era. I believe we have a prototype artwork for the book. It's not obviously a finished cover, but if we want to throw that up, they premiered this on the not the Star Wars show, the new Star Wars show on YouTube this week. There it is. It's going to be all about Padme during the Clone Wars era. So her and Anakin, I'm sorry, Mrs. Letourneau, my AP English teacher. She and Anakin are married. So Anakin will be in there. It does mean, Alex, in the chat, it does mean more Anakin. We're going to get more of him. And of course, most importantly, and if you want to show me here, it's a shout out to Emma. This is more of my girl Sabe, whose figure I have, thanks to Emma from our Christmas party. Sabe is going to be in the book as Padme has to go off on a secret mission. And for the first time in years, Sabe must take up the mantle of Amidala. I can't wait. This book is going to be coming out later this year on November 2nd. And of course, y'all know, you got to go to youtini.com and the new releases page to get your pre-order in. Because that's what heroes do, as Thor taught us. But this week, not only did we get one book reveal, we got a second book reveal, and that is Secrets of the Sith by Mark Sumerak, which is the sequel to Secrets of the Jedi. Oh my gosh, look at that. Guys, look at that cover. That artwork is insane.
It looks
That's
sick.
awesome.
Absolutely sick.
Pardon me, I was grabbing off my shelf. This right here, some of y'all may remember from Living Forces past, is Secrets of the Jedi. It was this book. It's like a bit of a younger reader reference book, but it had a ton of amazing artwork and a ton of additional information about Jedi stuff. So being Star Wars, we got to give some love to the dark side, right?
That's right.
So we're going to get Secrets of the Sith. It's going to be narrated like in the text by Palpatine himself,
Nice.
which I'm a little uncomfortable. I'm not going to lie. It might be because Jared was talking on Legends Look Back about slimy naked palps. A bit too much for my liking, but
oh my gosh.
Yeah, maybe we'll get some Dark Empire. Who's to say? But keep your eyes peeled. That's going to be this August. I know we have so many books coming up, including Alphabet Squadron Victory's Price next week. That's right, next week, everyone. Oh, didn't we just read Star Wars? Yes, we were just reading 8,000 Star Wars books, but Victory's Price comes out next week. And then we're going to have a full year of Thrawn, of More High Republic, of reference books, of Padme. Again, head on over to the new releases page where we got you covered. Corey, speaking of the website, you have again, been putting a ridiculous amount of work into it, and something is almost done. Tell everyone about it.
Oh my gosh, guys. The timeline is very close. It's very, very close. I don't have a visual update for you today because the visual changes that we put on at the very end those are like the final polishing touches. They're there and they're ready, but I don't want to reveal it. I want you guys to see it live when it goes up. The website is going to be updated next week. The timeline is going to go live next week, and man, it's awesome. We're so close. We're so close. We're just working out some technical kinks, and it has literally everything. 4,000 book entries are on our website now, and most of those, well, minus the reference books, will be on the timeline, of course, because reference books obviously don't exist in the Star Wars universe. So I don't know how many. It's probably 3,000 entries. Every book, every movie, every TV show, every single issue comic book, literally everything is on the timeline. It's all selectable with drop-down boxes. It's going to be sick. You're going to love it. I can't wait to show it to you next week. So launch next week, guys. Be on the lookout.
Yeah, Corey,
Awesome.
Corey created an entire new Slack channel for all these design things, and it's been astounding to watch it because not only is it going to be every book that we have, not only is it going to be everything that we used to have in the timeline, you're going to know between which Clone Wars episodes certain comics appear, and like to that level, right? So if you are one of those people who we love that loves to do chronological stuff, that wants to make sure you know who is alive, who is dead, who is dating who may or not be a senator/king from Alderaan at a certain time in Star Wars, you can go to the Youtini timeline starting next week. See them all bit by bit. Can't freaking wait. That was a joke about anticipation. All right. Not only have my jokes gotten better since the history of the Living Force, but so many other things have improved. Before we get to that, though, we're going to do a very early merch ad to celebrate Jose on our team, who continues to absolutely kill it. Let's run our favorite ridiculous merch ad so you can see what you can get at the Youtini store. And then we're going to sit back and think about 100 episodes. Be right back. Well, everyone, 100 episodes ago, I sat in a much less comfortable, much cheaper chair. And I had an idea, nay, a vision, to make the best Star Wars books, comics, and assorted media podcast that the internet's ever known, with a bunch of my good friends. And we did it. 100 episodes ago, we created episode 0, The Birth of the Living Force. And guys, 100 episodes, 100 weeks, 100 plus episodes. So we've done interviews that we don't count, but 100 weeks later, here we are. Welcome. We're still doing this.
We're shocked. We're just as shocked as all the listeners,
So,
I think.
real question, Eric and Charles, did you think this was going to last more than 100 episodes?
When we started,
Yes, when we started.
I will say at the time we started this podcast, I was living my life in a very distinct phase of impermanence. So like I was contract working. I was moving apartments about 8 times during 2 years. Like Corey kept figuring out what my shipping address was and everything was terrible. Remember those days?
Dude, that was so bad. You would just not stay in the same place. You kept forgetting to tell me where your dang address was, and I would ship it to your parents' house.
Yep. It was awful. So I gotta say, I don't think so. I didn't think, at least, that I would still be doing it.
Yeah.
Almost 2 years later. No. What about you guys? You guys
in a weekly fashion? Probably not.
Yeah.
Maybe we would have got to episode 100 eventually, but not in a weekly fashion. Especially because, I mean, Corey, you and I were finishing up med school when we were recording like our first episode. So the fact that residency hasn't stopped this, I assume I'm going to do this until I die at this point.
Exactly. I mean, I don't know. This is like one of the best parts of my week, and like I can't believe it. What about when you joined, Wes? Did you think this was going to last this long?
I think so, because it's not hard to throw up whatever you want on the internet because it lives there forever.
That's fair.
But the progression from this whole show is about, from episode 0 to now, is astonishing. Yeah. Absolutely astonishing.
It really is.
And the progression of my contributions to the show is also astonishing.
People didn't know what you looked like.
Oh my God!
You have a camera. We're like, Wes, turn off all your lights. Don't you say it. Corey was like,
Wes, you can say something. You know that, right? I'm like, okay, master, thank you.
I felt so bad because like you were here and like looking stuff up on Google for us and stuff, and I was like, but you didn't like feel like you could talk. I'm like, Wes, you can contribute. It's really okay. Like,
but to be fair, one of the first times we tried to let him contribute, he didn't record any of it.
Oh, that's
and
true.
Ended up being our 2 sound bites for the whole podcast.
Oh my God, that's hilarious.
Oh my gosh! And hey, I'm gonna keep reading it in the chat. If you have memories, throw them up. We're gonna try to read as many as we can. Emma, our video team star, Emma, just put up fun fact. One of the first Living Force episodes kept me company while driving myself to my first day of college orientation.
Wow, that's fantastic.
That is memorable for sure.
Yeah. We've had a lot of really interesting memories come up in the last couple weeks, like last week or two, I think. Like Meg posted in our Slack this week, and she tweeted it, I guess, that she stumbled across the emails that we exchanged when she first joined the team. And Eric, you came across something too on your time lapse or whatever that thing is.
My first, like, I put up like a Facebook picture of like, guys, I write for a Star Wars site now, and I was like, it was like my first like picture of my Google Chrome browser with my first bio. And
oh my God, yeah, I remember that.
God, but
it's hilarious.
But not only do these things live in our memory, as you said, Wes, a lot of this stuff lives on the internet forever. So we thought it would be a bit of a treat to get in the time machine and listen live to our first episode a little bit and mercilessly roast ourselves for everything we got wrong and hopefully do better 100 episodes later.
Oh my gosh.
What do you guys think?
I think it's good. We don't have that much. We just have a couple minutes with the first episode, but I want to listen to the theme song specifically. I clipped out the theme song because we've never played the audio podcast has got a different theme song than the live show does, right? So like, we kind of treat them as separate entities. So that'll be fun to listen to that together. So let's do it.
All right.
Drum roll, please. Matt, that's here we go.
There's the GIF.
I still love this song though.
It's good.
Still slaps.
It's
Absolutely.
good.
Looking. Found someone you have, I would say.
This station is now the ultimate power in the universe.
I know.
Cannot escape your destiny.
I remember hearing this for the first time though, and just losing my mind.
Yes, when Matt made this, it was so unbelievably professional.
Welcome to the Living Force Podcast,
And that
episode
voice,
0, the birth
I know.
of the Living Force. On this episode, a look back at Star Wars Celebration Chicago.
The last celebration.
What is your escape pod book?
What's that?
Bad feeling about this.
And how to avoid being stuck in the middle. And now, here are your hosts, Corey Helton, Eric Eilerson, and Charles
Oh yeah, you guys
Henkel.
weren't doctors yet.
That's right. We were not doctors.
Get yourself some chicken. Get some Zax sauce. You'll be set.
Is that like the secret sauce at McDonald's where it's just Thousand Islands?
Pretty
Okay,
much. I
so at
mean,
this
yeah,
point,
they like
I
put
will
something
take the
else
hit.
in it so
I'm
they
like,
can
guys, we
change
should
the
have a
name.
cold open.
This is
We're just like talking
And on
naturally.
that, ladies and gentlemen,
I
welcome.
know. Charles is talking about Zaxby's. The first things we ever talk about on the Living Force is Zaxby's. Fantastic.
I am
Eric.
nothing if not
I am one
consistent.
of your hosts, and with me today are two excellent gentlemen. First off, we have Corey. Corey, how you doing?
Listen to how calm you are, Eric. It doesn't
It
sound
sounds
anything
like
like you now.
Yeah, Eric is like coming back from the
Thanks for bringing
flu.
us together. We'll get to that in a second. And I also have Charles.
We'll get to
What's up,
that
man?
in a second.
Hey guys, what's
30
going on?
seconds
Excited
into
to
the
be
show, I'm
here.
like, oh no, we'll get to that.
All
Like,
right, so this is our
Talk,
episode
bro.
0, our intro to whatever this is going to be. We are three guys that work at Youtini.com, which is a site based around the Star Wars expanded universe. And we decided we want to sit around and talk about it all the time. So
Shocker.
maybe we'll record it.
Right. That's it. That's what we got. We're gonna sit around and talk about it. I guess. I mean, is that what this is? You know.
I was so in the idea of like, you know, what's really cool? Like, not really caring and like not really knowing what you're doing. Professionalism is for squares.
Oh man,
I like it.
Wow. Well, past Eric, whatever this is gonna be, has turned into reading all these books and talking about them with all these folks. And like, it's crazy because Corey, I remember we were talking a little off air that we wanted to discuss a little bit about like when we first started this idea, we didn't have a name, we didn't really have a concept, and we sure as hell did not have mic equipment.
No,
as evident by that clip. But I would tell me if I'm wrong, guys. Like, I think we first started this based on the idea that we still have today, which is we wanted a show that was just people being geeked about Star Wars. And that was kind of like the base.
Like normal people with like normal jobs and professionals. Like you don't have to be either like you don't have to be like a all the stereotypes that can be Star Wars, right? You have like hardcore nerds that like are antisocial and live in their mom's basement stereotype, right? You got like all the a-hole trolls that we all witness after The Force Awakens and that sort of thing, right? So, and you know, we're just, I don't know, Charles and I are doctors. We have really busy lives and somehow we still do this. And I don't know, we're just normal people, I guess.
Yeah. We're just folks talking about stuff.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yeah. And some of you weren't with us when the beginning happened. When the beginning happened. Yeah, that's the sentence I meant there. If some of you wow, I can't get that sentence out, guys. I'm plugged in this episode. I'm very emotional.
All right, so I'm gonna take over as the lead host moving forward the next 100 episodes because clearly Eric can't handle the pressure.
Retiring. No, honestly, you know why? Because it hit 40 degrees in Chicago, so my apartment is roasting tonight. But I'm here because I love you all. But no, when we started out, it was really just a place that we wanted to have that community that we couldn't have when we were kids, and that is kind of, you know, kept driving us, which led to the name. And we tossed around a couple things. I remember the beacon was an early one we thought of because we wanted to be like a beacon for hope, and I'm like, I don't know. And
yeah, we actually, I think that was the name. Actually, we had picked out. It was going to be Beacon of Hope, and I forget what we came across. Maybe it was another Star Wars podcast. We came across something else that already existed with that name, and I can't remember what it was.
Yeah, it was something.
But now, speaking of coming across names, sorry to totally take this off the rails.
Do it.
Nobody can. Nobody is ever gonna come across. No one's ever gonna come across the name Youtini and be like, "Oh, well, that's a pretty good name. I think I'll take it." Because you know what?
What, Corey? What?
You know what? This piece of paper from the United States government says I own the word Youtini and you can't have it. So suck it, trademark.
We did it. It would take us 3 years.
Yes, it was very expensive and painful to get a trademark, but we got it.
Yeah. Wait, you know what I want to do now? I love that trademark. We've been trying to get that for years because there's one Twitter. Well, you'll see when
one day we're gonna own all the social medias.
We're gonna get them. But when Living Force honestly came about, I think we talked about this on an early episode through Master and Apprentice, because Claudia Gray's novel had just come out, and I was like, I don't know, Qui-Gon talks about the Living Force. What about that? We're like, oh yes, quite, and
quite.
It is indubitably so the Living Force. But I wanted to ask you guys, I guess, Charles, I want to ask you, because this was at the point in Youtini where Corey and I kept going back and forth about stuff. What did you think when we were like, hey, Charles, do you want to be the third person on the podcast that's the voice of the whole company? What was that like?
Gosh, I don't know, man. I mean, that was so early on. I was already doing Youtini Tuesdays, so you know, my face was out there. Never forget. Rest in peace, Youtini Tuesdays. No, I don't know, man. I was stoked, but at the same time, I was just like, I was looking at it as time to just hang out with you guys, you know, because I was having fun doing Star Wars with y'all, and that's really all it was meant to be. And I guess at the end of the day, that's what it still is. But it's so cool that it's grown into what it is too. You know, this isn't us 4 guys talking every week, and now it is 4 because thank goodness Wes is here too. Yes, but it's absolutely. I mean, it's everyone that joins us should have their own little square on this screen because it really is just a community event every week, and it's so much fun.
Absolutely.
Well, we really can only have so many squares on this screen, you know, just for like you know, design purposes, but
aesthetically speaking.
That's right.
Ryan. And then Wes, I mean, we first brought you on as we said earlier, like to help out a lot of the tech stuff, and then you kind of like chilled for a bit, and then we're like, hey, you need lighting and a mic because we want you. What was like? I guess I wasn't even part of that conversation. I think Corey, that was one of your moments of saying, hey, Wes is gonna be on the show to do the buttons because I don't want to do the screens.
I think we transitioned to video, and it was like bad video, like because we originally were just gonna like. We were already in Zoom calls to record the audio podcast, right? So we decided that we were just gonna like live stream the Zoom call. So none of us really had any equipment whatsoever. But then we all started gradually making the change, and I was like, Wes, gotta get your video together, bro. Gotta get that crap together, man.
What episode did we switch over to video?
It was 30.
Trivia question.
29, I think. I came across it earlier.
That's early, really.
It's 28, 29, or 30.
So early.
And that seems early, but that was 30 weeks in. I mean, that's a significant amount of time, right? So 30 weeks in, like we switched to video, 30-ish weeks in. It was the Halloween episode, I think, was the first one. I came across it today when I was looking at videos.
Oh, yeah, because that was back when I had my
2019.
A blue snowball mic in front of my face and a pop filter, and I was in the corner of my apartment by the window.
Oh my god, it's hilarious.
Listen, don't talk to me about where you used to record this podcast, okay? For those of y'all that were here in the early days, you will remember I was literally in my closet to record this, and you could still hear the sirens from the ambulances. So that's ridiculous. Changed.
It was ridiculous. Yeah, Eric, I was watching some of the old videos earlier. It was hilarious because you're like this close to the camera, and your pop filter covered your whole face. It was hilarious.
Oh man.
Now, Corey, I think it's a good time to put this. You said you had a surprise for us.
Oh yes, I do have a surprise for you. You want me to dig it up? You ready?
Yeah, we're half hour.
All right.
Let's do it.
This is fantastic. So I went on a mission today. It took me a long time, like several hours. I worked on this today. I got home at like 4:30ish today, and between that time when we started, I was working on this. It took me forever. So that's like 2 or 3 hours, right? I went through all of our super old content you can't even find anymore. And I found the first place that every single person in this video right now shows up on camera in Youtini history. The first time ever that you showed your face in Youtini history, and it's phenomenal, and I cannot wait to show you. So I just got like 30 seconds of each of us.
Oh my god!
And I have it all put together.
This.
It's real bad, guys.
Cut the feed.
It's real bad. All right,
we're experiencing some technical difficulties.
All right, everyone, look at my lighting right now. Look at my hair. Look at my chair. Okay, I'm prepared.
All right, hold on a second. Let me make sure we have our mics. Works. I want to make sure we have our mics in these screens because I want you to hear
our commentary on whatever.
You got to be able to hear our commentary.
Oh
all right.
My God,
you guys ready?
Time.
Here we go.
Okay.
Yes.
Welcome to Youtini Tuesday on today,
the first
July 10th,
in my med school apartment with my Walmart headset.
I'm going to be your host today. You guys,
look at July 2018.
I do a little bit of writing for Youtini.
You have curtains, though.
Blog post you might have seen, and if you have gotten the most recent magazine, you have seen an article that I wrote in there about Darth Bane.
Listen to this right here.
Oh no.
And I also try to stay pretty active in the Facebook group, so I may have interacted with some of y'all before. If I haven't, hey, it's great to meet
you. Hey, you know what? Anyone that is new to the show tonight, if you're just coming into episode 100 of The Living Force, I have one thing to say to you. Hey.
Man, I came across it and I was like, clip. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
So if I haven't met you, hey, it's just fantastic.
July 10th, 2018. That is insane.
You did so many of those, and I lied for months saying I'll totally do the next one, and then I got busy.
Oh my god, you never did.
I never did a
You
single
never did
one.
a single Youtini Tuesday. Heather did some.
Nope.
I meant to pull some of hers too. Heather did some. I think Meg did one. Charles did a whole lot of them. Oh my god, that was phenomenal.
I would like to think we'd never be here today without that video, so I'm gonna have to just take it for what it is.
Man.
I know.
You still have that shirt?
Absolutely, I have that.
All right.
Millennium Falcon shirt from Target. It's a Target special, if I remember correctly.
Yep,
Maybe it's Walmart. Is it a Target or is it a Walmart one? I can't remember.
Oh, it's red. It's got to be Target.
Oh, fair enough. Fair enough.
All right.
Yeah, I think honestly, Youtini Tuesday, Charles, is probably one of the biggest reasons that we asked you to be the third person. Because me and Eric we were just loudmouths that did everything at Youtini back then, and like we needed another voice. I know exactly.
Yep. It's all different now.
Notice
because you wanted my audience. You wanted my Youtini Tuesday audience of 3 people on average to come on over to the podcast.
Oh my god, it's painful. Painful.
Yeah.
All right. Speaking of the old days, I have myself from the very, very old days. This is before.
Are you gonna look like you're 9 years old?
Dude, it's so bad. It's so bad.
Let's go.
This is October 2017. October 2017. This is like when the idea of Youtini was like barely a thing. I'm not sure we had a website yet at this point. We were just building social media following at that point. So this is ridiculous. Check this out.
What's up, guys, and welcome to the live stream. Today's code word is Jawa.
Who's that little boy?
I'm not sure what happened there. We had some technical difficulties.
Are you
it looks like we got all that straightened out now.
Nice
let's
vertical
just
vid,
dive
bro.
right into
Shut
this.
the hell up.
So, welcome to the first ever Youtini live
who
stream.
are you?
Or if you're watching later on, welcome to the first ever Youtini replay of the live stream. So, my name is Corey Helton. I'm CEO.
Oh my god.
Dude, I'm crying.
You've grown up since then, sir.
I know, man. I'm old now. Jesus.
Caitlin married you before that.
Yes, I don't know why. It's ridiculous. I was playing these videos earlier, and Caitlin came through the room, and she goes, "Oh my god, you do look like Macaulay Culkin. Holy crap." When I was a little kid, that's what everybody called me. That's Macaulay Culkin. Oh god.
Oh,
that's hilarious.
Oh my
That
gosh.
is awesome.
Great dig.
God, and oh god.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. So back then, fun fact. So here's a little personal story about that. So in the beginning of that video, I said apologies. I went live a few minutes ago. I had some technical difficulties. I had to come back. Fun fact, this is really personal. I had never been on camera ever before that moment. As soon as I went live, this is on my personal Facebook page, by the way, with my family and friends and all that kind of thing, I had a full-blown panic attack. Full-blown. Like, it freaked me out. I was like, holy crap, I can't do this. I was talking, one of my friends like commented something, and I couldn't focus on like reading the comments and reading the live stream. I was like, I just shut the live feed down. I just shut it down. I was like, oh, that was not good, guys. That was not good. And I had to like take a minute, and then I came back and like acted all cool, like it was a technical difficulty. But no, man, it freaked me out. I couldn't handle being on the screen.
Wow. Also, hearing you being like, I couldn't talk and read a comment at the same time, knowing what you do on this show every single week with the monitors and the talk, like.
I know. It comes naturally. Yeah, just so you know, if you have ever thought about doing something live or any kind of video project, you just got to do it over and over again. Then it's like, then it's super natural.
It comes naturally after 3.5 years.
That's right.
Absolutely. Just natural.
All right. Let's queue up. Let me queue up the next one. All right, Eric, I have to show you. This is fantastic.
Oh God.
And funny enough, the first one I found of you is not where you would expect it to be. It was actually kind of hard. I found one of you, but it was way further forward than I wanted it to be. It was like towards the end of 2018. You had been on for a full year at that point.
Yeah.
It was the when you showed your apartment off and all your like you showed off your Funkos. Yeah, it was a Funko post, and we shared it on social media and stuff. But that was pretty
I
far
everything
in.
Before that,
and also it was way too professional. And like Like, all of ours look like shit, and yours is like, oh, yes, yeah, welcome. You're a freaking actor, and you come in here like all professional in your video and stuff, and it looks really good, and it's high def, and I'm like, screw you, man. I was like, I'm 12.
Can't have that.
Yes, absolutely. So I found, this took a lot of digging. I found this episode. See if it looks familiar to you.
All right. Then I'm going to go to Sunil.
Oh my god!
Yeah, so I am hanging out in my bunk, putting back together my A280 blaster rifle, just getting ready for this business that's about to go down.
God!
I go and just kind of stand in the doorway and just watch for a little bit, and then
dude, Youtini plays was fun.
That's a nice gun.
Not the first compliment I've ever gotten on it. I hope we won't have to use it if this heist goes according to plan.
Yeah, it's big.
Where's this going?
What is happening?
Destin is a smuggler from royal lineage. He does not know guns.
I think
oh my god!
You bamboozled us.
Oh, man. I paid $100,000 to learn how to improvise, and that's what it got me.
Oh man! Listen.
Wow.
Super on brand for Heather to just come in with the chuckle after that comment.
Yes, absolutely, Heather. It's fantastic. So if you've not found this, it's still on our YouTube channel. You can actually find it. I actually pulled that video off of Facebook. It was buried in our Facebook videos. It was really hard to find. We played like a one campaign, about an 8 or 9 episode series. We actually filmed it and everything, put it on YouTube and stuff. We played the Star Wars RPG, and Eric was the absolute star of the Youtini RPG. Turns out professional acting is really useful when you play RPG. No wonder all your friends want to play D&D with you all the time, Eric. Like,
God,
oh man, it was fantastic.
It was so much fun, and I also think that was a big help in like cementing our chemistry for this show, because we got to like be a little, you know, this takes a little, it's a little bit of performance, it's, you know, as far as we were a little more hyped up, and that game night stuff got us to, you know, be characters and got to, you know, we live all around the country, so we can never just go have beers and figure out who we were as people. So I think that game night was really a nice way to be with each other, quote unquote, off air.
That's
and
right.
Be like, okay, what can we talk about? What can we chat about? It was
fun. That was actually a really great like lesson in improvising and doing stuff live and everything, because not only are you live, you have to like act as your character playing RPG.
Yeah, right.
So that was a lot of fun.
And Corey, being Corey, had to build
oh my god,
3D game board with the dice that we'd actually roll and all our little characters and everything. So you had to focus on all that stuff, and I have to think that helps you
every
now.
time.
It was miserable. It was absolutely miserable. I was running. I did all that off of a MacBook Pro, by the way. I don't know how I ran all that. Now I have this huge, ridiculous gaming PC. I have 3 monitors in front of me, and
he's
like
laughing. I'm doing this off of a MacBook Pro, right?
I'm also doing this off of a MacBook Pro.
Oh my god. Oh, God, it's hilarious.
It was great though. It was that fun part, because I think that was when I was like on crappy Wi-Fi. I still have that same awful Logitech webcam that I still use off camera, but God.
Oh, fantastic. All right, last one, Wes.
Let's do it.
I had the most trouble finding your video. I asked in Slack earlier. I was like, "Hey, does anybody remember what episode it was that Wes like came on the show?" Because a whole bunch of people in our Discord just did a big like live rewatch of a whole bunch of like from like episode 40 on or something. It was really awesome.
If I'd known you were trying to do that, I wouldn't have told you what episode I came in on.
And I think Wes said, I don't know, I think it was in the 30s or the 40s. And I went back and I had to listen like the first like 20 minutes of every single episode for like, it took me forever to find this, and like it was super spontaneous. It was the first time Wes shows his face on camera, and dude, it is so good. You're so nervous, Wes, and it's just my god, here we go. It's phenomenal. Watch this.
And with us, as always, you're gonna hear him now and then, is our man on the keys, our Babu Frick, Wes. How's it going, dude?
Hey guys, how's everyone going?
We're doing very well. Wes is going to be here.
How's
keeping us on track. He's going to be talking in the chat with you. So if you see Youtini popping up, that's Wes. And if we get something totally wrong or are very confused during this episode, which I'm sure will not happen, we'll ask Wes some questions.
Google is up.
What is your headphones? What are your headphones?
So a couple things this week before we dive into some video game news.
Looking like Slim Shady about to record in the booth, bro.
Oh my God, you were cool as hell. You're like, you got one ear off your headphones. You're like, oh
I still do that.
How's everyone going? Oh, I loved it, dude. It was so good. I laughed out loud.
That's the next shirt. How's everyone going?
Oh man, it made me laugh so hard. Caitlin came in here. She was like, "What are you laughing at?" I was like, "Look at Wes's stupid face. It's so funny."
I was like, "Oh man, I have to do an interview with Corey Helton from Youtini. I have to shave my face."
Oh, ridiculous, man! It's so fun. I'm telling you, man. The camera does something to you. Like you sense it, and it does something. You just can't focus. I don't know why it's such a painful process, but.
You just gotta move it back. 90% of our show is moving it back.
It was. Oh God, you're so close to the camera, Eric. Hey everybody, welcome to the show.
It was intimate.
Oh man, doesn't it feel so stupid when I came in like, hey guys, we should probably clean up the professionalism of our cameras, the lighting, the angles, those types of things. I guess that was reasonable.
God. All right, now, Charles, you mentioned this in our Slack as we're doing this show. We also have a clip. We talked earlier about how the show got its name. Don't we also have a clip about that? Don't we? How we talked about it?
Yeah, we have. It's also from episode 0, and we talk about like how the Living Force got its name. And I even pulled the original logo. So check this out. This is really cool.
I want to bring to the name of this podcast, right?
Right.
Which took us a while. We were going back and forth with a couple things. But as we're recording this, we're in the week of Master and Apprentice by Claudia Gray being released. It's phenomenal. There's a review on the website by the time you hear this. But a lot of the book has to do with the mysticism of the Force, with like Qui-Gon especially. And I was reading it, and I realized that so much of Star Wars, with the community now, and with the stories now, and with the characters now, is all about the connection. And is all about the fact that the Force as an entity is connection between people. That's the definition. It's not about lifting rocks, to quote Luke. It's about the connection between all living things. And more I thought about it, that's what we're trying to do with Youtini, and that's what we're trying to do with this podcast. So it just kind of made sense. I mean, as you guys hopefully subscribe and listen to this podcast, we're going to try to connect with a bunch of members of our team, a bunch of people in the community, a bunch of people in the Star Wars world, potentially in the future, because everything is kind of united through the Living Force to get all philosophical about it. So that's where I came to it from. And I think it'll look really cool in a logo. To be simple about it.
I totally agree. That the entire scene in Empire Strikes Back when Yoda explains to Luke what the Force is I think my favorite scene in literally all of Star Wars. I mean, he's like the rock, the tree, like it passes through all of us, it flows through us, we're all connected. I mean, it's such a beautiful analogy, and it perfectly explains what the Force is. I mean, and I totally agree. Like when you said why don't we call the show The Living Force, I like freaked out. I immediately fell in love with it. It totally symbolizes everything that we're trying to do. Like, to me, the Living Force is the Star Wars fan community. I mean, that's what we all are. I mean, we're all connected with this thing that we share and love and we're passionate about, and I think it's perfect.
Well, it is perfect. And the other thing to mention is that, I mean, there are multiple facets of the Force, right? That's why the Living Force is even a term. There's like the cosmic force, the unifying force, all these different things, but the living force is what focuses on the now, what focuses on the moment and your connection with everything around you right here, right now. And that's what we want this podcast to be, really is an escape for you in this moment right now. Let's get connection with the community, with the thing that we love, and let's just enjoy the moment.
Oh my God.
Sorry, I fell asleep.
We all sound like we're sitting around in a basement, like passing a joint around, talking about Star Wars. Oh man, the Living Force.
Great, good for you.
Like that 70s show.
Exactly.
And I think so. The sentiment is definitely true.
But it is. Like, listen, all right. In all reality, like we've had a lot of fun on the show. We've joked and stuff, but like, this means a lot to me, man, that we get together every week and we do this. And like, I really do believe it. Like that the Living Force, it is the Star Wars community, right? And a lot of the community kind of sucks and they're jerks on Twitter. But like, as we have seen, a huge part of the community, especially our community, is not. And they have like totally rallied behind this like idea that we built of being positive and choosing what your battles are and choosing the joy in things. And it's been absolutely incredible to be here for the ride.
Yeah. And before we have another part of this show we want to share with you all of the larger Youtini family. Personally, it's been really interesting this year, this show for me, if I can get on my first sappy diatribe of the night. When COVID hit, my entire career stopped. Like I made my living performing. I was on stage since I graduated college. There wasn't a time where I either wasn't on stage or had a contract lined up. And when COVID hit, I was confined to an apartment, not seeing people, not performing, not doing anything I had spent my entire life doing. And it's been wild because I haven't felt the depression that a lot of my friends have since then. Like a lot of artists, when you kind of have that purpose ripped away, have just kind of retreated into themselves at really dark times. And I've realized it's because of this show. It's because of this community. Like every Monday night, both us on this show and you all in the community have allowed me to have a platform where I can engage with you all. I can talk about things that I love. I can hang out with my friends, like all the things that I always loved about my theatrical career at a time when I can't do that, when I shouldn't be allowed to do the thing that gives me fulfillment and joy, is being fulfilled by this show in a way that I could never have predicted. And I every week can never take for granted because it is the thing that has allowed me to stay whole in the last year when everything else in the world has been telling you like not to. So on a very, very personal note, thank you guys, the three of you, and also thank you to this community. Like this is unintentionally what I have been building towards throughout my life. And I don't see that changing for the next 100, 200, 500 episodes. Because this is the thing. This is the thing that young me never thought could exist, but has been lucky enough to build. So I love it. I love you guys. This is amazing.
Awesome. Shit, how do you follow that?
Well, you know how we follow it is by even more love and connection. Because as we said in that clip, the Living Force is what binds us, and it does not only bind us; it binds the now like 30 strong staff count. And the many, many, many hundreds and thousands more patron and community count of Youtini. And we have put together, I have not watched this. I wanted to be completely blindsided by this. We put together a video montage of our staff. We just asked them, what are your thoughts about the 100 episodes? And let's roll it and see what our larger community has to say about how far we've come.
Hey guys, Timothy here. When I joined the Youtini team, I was one of 30 patrons who listened to the 4 occasional podcasts that we were producing. Less than a year later, we have more than 60 patrons and more than 9 shows being actively produced at any given time. I became a fan to experience my love for Star Wars in ways like never before, and I still can't believe that I get to help others experience that same love and feel a part of something bigger in this universe.
Hey guys, it's Jacob from the Discord moderation team. I'd like to wish the crew of the Living Force a happy 100th episode. Since I've joined the team just a few weeks ago, we've had this milestone as well as 1,000 YouTube subscribers, so congrats again. I know there's so much happening behind the scenes that we can't wait to show the rest of the community, and I'm really excited to share that with everyone. Good luck for the next 100 episodes, and may the Force be with you.
What's up, Youtini fam? Emma coming at you from Hoth, I guess. I just wanted to wish everybody at the Living Force a very happy 100 episodes. That's absolutely incredible. I've not been on the team for too long, May 2020, but seeing the amount of growth that Youtini has gone through, even just in the last few months, has been absolutely insane, and it's very special. And I believe that the Living Force is at the heart of that. So congratulations on 100, fellas, and here's to 100 more. May the Force be with you.
Wow, 100 episodes. I mean, I remember getting the Youtini boxes in the mail, and obviously so much has changed even since I joined staff, and we added so many new fantastic podcasts and team members and started our YouTube channel. But I think that Living Force is the reason a lot of people keep coming back to Youtini, and it's kind of the focal point of our community for a lot of people, and that's a testament to the great show that you guys have created. So congrats on 100, and I can't wait to see where we are when we hit episode 200.
What's up, Living Force fans? Jared Mays here, host of Legends Look Back. And I've got to admit, when I talk to people in my everyday life about what I do with Youtini, it's not always the easiest thing to describe. I might say something as succinct as, I write for a Star Wars website, or I have a Star Wars podcast, but it's very rare that I can actually really get into the truth and the meaning of what we do at Youtini. I was having breakfast with a friend the other day, distantly with masks and all that good stuff, and was talking to him about just how much I've come to love not just the stuff that I write or the stuff that I talk about on the podcast, not just my love of Star Wars, but how really 2 years now into being with Youtini, what I love the most about being with Youtini is not just Star Wars. Yeah, I love a galaxy far, far away, but I've come to learn that 2 years later, what I love the most about Youtini is the community. I love the people involved with Youtini. I can't imagine what this last year would have been like if it hadn't been for Youtini. The friends that I've had to confide in along the way about how difficult all this has been, and also the people to celebrate Star Wars with, to encourage one another. I've absolutely loved the way that the community has been built up around both the Living Force as a podcast, Legends Look Back too, but also the Discord and the people that we have in Facebook and on Twitter, the people who join us live like this for our podcast. I've absolutely loved the community that we've managed to build. You're wonderful people. Thanks for making the galaxy a brighter place. May the Force be with you.
Hi, I'm Heather. I joined Youtini about 3 years ago, and back then I remember it was just a handful of us with the goal of helping people through the expanded universe. We've helped so many people, and now our community is like in the hundreds. And I'm just so proud and honored to be a part of the whole thing. Here's to 100 episodes, and here's to 100 more. That was a bad idea. Congrats, you guys.
Hey everybody, I'm Michael Hilton. I'm a content coordinator for Youtini.com, and just wanted to wish TLF a happy 100 episodes. It's a big deal. Congratulations. In my time at Youtini, I have seen the company grow from a democracy of the people to a true empire. You guys are ruling it with an iron fist, so keep up the good work.
Man, I wasn't even a Star Wars fan when I started hearing about Youtini. Corey just said, hey, put these books in these boxes. And so we would walk across the hall to his apartment and put books in boxes. And then, before you know it, I'm reading them. And then I'm listening to the podcast. And then I know all of you. And now I can't leave because I work here. They suck you in this way. I don't know what it is about this community, but man, you can't leave it. It's just too positive. You keep coming back. It's like Oreos.
What is the biggest change in Youtini since I joined? Well, I think the answer is obvious. I think the merch has greatly improved over the last year. The merch and graphics in the social media, yeah, I think that's, I don't know what they did, but I think that's the biggest change that I've seen since I joined. So anyways, congrats guys, everything's great.
Hi everyone! So just a short video to tell you all at Youtini how awesome you are and how much Youtini means to me. It's absolutely crazy to think that it's been 100 episodes since I started listening to this podcast and more than a year since I joined the Discord and then the Patreon. You guys really have made such a big impact on a lot of us by maintaining this community where everyone feels welcomed and that honestly I didn't know I needed. So thank you very much for everything. Happy 100 episodes and let's get to 1,000 more, okay? This is the way.
Hi, my name's Cheryl, and I live in Campbell River on Vancouver Island, BC, Canada. Youtini and the Living Force mean, quite simply, community to me. The friendships that I've made in their online community have meant the world to me, and I'm forever in their debt. Congrats on 100 episodes, guys. Continue to make us laugh.
Hey guys, it's your old friend Rob from Oakville, Ontario, also known as the Frozen Wastes of Hoth. Just want to say congratulations on 100 episodes. Fantastic achievement and a fantastic community. May the Force be with you.
Hey everyone, I'm Carl. I'm one of the writers at Youtini, and I just want to wish my friends Eric, Corey, Charles, and Wes a happy 100th episode of The Living Force. It's been a real blast for me to be a part of this team from a ways back, since we were still doing subscription boxes, and watching the vision change and evolve, and having some small part in it. Hearing Corey talk about starting a podcast all the way back at Chicago Celebration, and it's been fun seeing what you guys have done with it. I listen to a lot of them, but you're the only ones that I keep current with, and it's been great listening to you guys, and then all the other podcasts, all the other talented folks that have come to be a part of it since you guys kicked it all off 100 episodes ago. So, cheers, boys, and here's to another 100.
Hi guys, Trevor here. I work on the timeline at Youtini, and I co-host for Star Wars Archives with Jose. I've been with the team about a year and a half now, and just seen the website go from strength to strength. It thrills me to listen to the guys talk on the podcast every week. Honestly, I count these guys as some of my friends. I'm thrilled to be a small part of this team, and I'm still a fan of what we do. I love it.
When I first came to Youtini, I really wasn't interested in getting to know people. We were a group of people who did projects simultaneously, but I wouldn't have called us a team. I came to Youtini to write about Star Wars, and I accidentally found a family. We're more than just a team. We do the work we do because we know how much it means to this community, because of how much it means to us. I am beyond grateful to be here.
Oh, dude, that hits hard, man. Holy crap. I told you guys, somebody cried. I told you somebody was going to cry.
Yeah.
How cool is that, though?
Dude, that's awesome.
To see all different kinds of people in different places of the world, in different life stages, you know, who are all coming together every week and have become a part of this thing called the Living Force. That video was the culmination of that 2-minute bit that we played from episode 0 about what we wanted the Living Force to be.
It is, dude. It's so true.
That's I mean, it's just like you said, it's the culmination, right? This is why we do what we do. Like, who'd have known it was gonna blow up into this big, enormous thing that just brings positivity and joy to people's lives, especially a personal note to me as well. I mean, because I didn't have anybody to talk about this Star Wars thing that I liked so much with. So I'm super grateful that I found you guys in this entire community to share that.
Yeah, man. It's wild because, you know, we do this weekly show and I love it. And it's like Corey said, it's my favorite night of the week.
It is.
And then, but then those people in that video and the people that watch, people that listen, like I get to talk to y'all every day. Yeah. Like I mute Slack so much because there's so much going on at all times. But like there's Slack and the Discord is going every day, and it's like, I mean, Meg, you said it is my family straight up. Like it is. It's indescribable what it's become, and it
means a lot to be here.
Yeah, a lot of this has been done over the internet, right? And like, there's been a couple times here and there.
Of it. I mean, none of it. Like, only a few of us have met.
Right, exactly. Yeah. So
I'm gonna open mouth kiss all y'all next celebration. For now.
So the celebration that we have in a year and a half, I guess, is it's gonna be something. It's gonna be something that the GoPro is gonna take a recording of, and we're gonna make a whole video of that.
I just can't wait to see how short Corey is.
Oh, shut the hell up, Charles! Oh my God!
Little 5'6" down there, right?
Oh Jesus!
It's gonna be amazing.
Oh man, it really. Somebody listen. I was on a 24-hour call about 3 weeks ago, and my intern asked me, "What are you working on?" I was working on the website, and I have my goofy 2 monitors set up at the hospital. I took one of the hospital computers and unplugged the monitor to it so I could have a larger monitor to web design on because I'm that big of a nerd. And at the hospital, I'm working on the website, and she's like, "What are you working on?" And I showed her the web designs I was working on, and she's like, "Oh yeah, this is that Star Wars thing you do, right?" And I was like, and we started talking about it, and she asked me, "What is the end goal? Like, what are you trying to do?" And I was like, "Man, I don't know. I'm just having a blast. Like, I just do this there isn't an end goal. The end goal is to bring positivity to the community." And we ask all these authors and stuff what our legacy is. Like, I hope our legacy is that we have somehow positively influenced this crazy, stupid sci-fi fantasy space opera thing that we all love and just escape to. Like, I hope that's what we do. That's the end goal, right? Is like, there's not some thing like, I don't want to shake the hand of George Lucas or be invited to a premiere. I mean, sure, I want those things. That would be awesome, right? But like that's not like the end goal. The end goal is just to be here, like intentionally with each other and experience something we enjoy together. That's the purpose of this. And
that's not how the Force works.
That's right. That's right. There's no end goal. It's just
it's funny. We were talking about it in one of our big meetings recently about that end goal, right? Of the website, of the show. And now 100 shows in, I think it solidifies into the fact that when you listen to the show, I hope that when it ends, you feel better than you did when it started. And I think it's the same thing when on the site. When you go to the site, I hope when you leave, you're just in a better place than you were. Whether that's because you learned something, whether that's because you bought that impulse buy you've been waiting on because you got your Amazon points you haven't used for 3 months. Go ahead, buy it, do it. But like, because every Monday night, you're so right. I mean, we all work long hours, and then there's Charles.
It works.
That is accurate.
Probably works what the rest of us work combined. Like,
and I think if we weren't loving every moment, there could be those weeks where we're like, I can't do it. I can't do it. You know, I'm tired.
I never hesitate, dude. Caitlin asked me literally last Monday when we were getting ready for the Living Force. So I was kind of in a rush. I was trying to eat some dinner before we had to record. She asked me, like, do you ever get tired of Living Force? You want to not do it anymore? And I was like, no, not at all.
How dare you?
Yeah, get out of my face. I didn't even hesitate. It was like, no, not really. I mean, there's sometimes where I'm like, okay, it's Monday night. Like, there's just one thing I would like to be doing right now. But then I get here. As soon as I sit down in the chair to get ready to record the show, it's like, that's it. That's all it takes. I'm like all in every single week. It's the best part of my week, every single week.
And we're like in our 20s and 30s, so like we love canceling plans. Like that is the best feeling.
Truth.
And when you think about it, but we have a good time, right?
Yeah.
That's what we're getting at. And I think one of the great things that we're looking forward to this year, the next iteration of this company, of this show, is how we can bring that joy to other people and also other people on our team. So what kind of 100th show would we be if we didn't have a couple teases for the future? So we've been working, as Corey said, we've all said, behind the scenes every day with those people that you saw in the video, as well as other people. Corey, what do we want to tell the people is coming down the pipeline in the world of the Living Force and the world of Youtini this year? Anything big we want to tell them about?
I have lots of big things. There are always very large things happening in Youtini.
Well.
I mean, I literally say like all the time. The people are probably tired of hearing things that big things are coming because I literally say that all the time because it's true.
Real, though.
I mean, this is a bit of a tangent, but seriously, the amount of work that the people on this team put into our craft is it's really impressive. I mean, it really is. Like every single thing that happens at Youtini is not like nothing is half-assed, to pardon my French, right? Like not a single thing is. Literally every single thing that we do has multiple steps, multiple people looking at it. Like you don't I think a lot of people, we've had a lot of turnover over the years at the Youtini on the Youtini team because people join and they're like, oh crap, this is a part-time job. Like because seriously, that is the expectation, I think, when you join the team, is that you have to contribute a lot, and like you have to put your heart and soul and blood and sweat and tears into these projects. So we do. Like when we launch the timeline next week, like I think the timeline is probably the largest project Youtini has consistently ever done ever, because every single person on the team has contributed to the timeline in some way. There's 4,000 data entry points in a 4,000 rows, not data entry points, 4,000 rows in a giant database that we have. Every single one of those rows has got a title and an author and a Wikipedia link and like references, and like every single one does. So we have to manually pull that information, right? So like, and then I have to design the website and I build the website, and it's like we literally have 1,000 hours in the Star Wars timeline, something like that. It's outrageous. It's so much work we put into this, and like, it astounds me every single day that the people on this team that you see in that video are in this. Like Carl and Heather and Meg, you guys have been here since like the very beginning. It's crazy. And like, I wish you could hear our commentary over the video, because our mics were not live, right? So we're talking to each other while we're watching the video, and it's like Emma has grown so much as a video producer, and like just hearing the guys like with me that do this thing with me talk about how we have watched the evolution of the people on this team, and how their skill has dramatically changed and improved.
Yeah.
And
Nathan was not a lumberjack thirst trap when he started.
oh my god! Yes, yeah. Look at him in his beanie. It looks cool as hell, and his camera's all zoomed in, and his background's all blurred, and it's professional as hell. And like he edits all their video now, and it's just like this has brought me so. Now I'm getting emotional. This has brought me so much joy to do this thing with you. Like, it doesn't feel like something that I created. Like, it doesn't feel like that. I don't even feel like I own it anymore. I feel like I have to get permission to make decisions on this team, because like everybody just puts so much effort into this, and like I don't pay any of you. Like I don't. We make money, but like not enough.
Don't get crazy. Don't get crazy. Don't get set in stone about this. We don't pay you anything, crap. All right, we'll talk about that later. Go ahead and continue with your diatribe.
God. Oh man, I have somehow Tom Sawyered all of you people into painting my damn white fence, and I don't know how I did it, but it means so much to me that all of you a-holes are here with me every single week to do this thing, and it's absolutely incredible. So big stuff that this incredible team is working on that's coming down the pipeline. There are two really, really big things that I want to announce. This is the first time we've talked about them on the show. Number one, we are officially launching the Youtini Podcast Network. We have... Let's go! Yes. Let's go! Wait. I got a thing.
Here it is. That's not what I was expecting.
You're expecting this?
And his name is John C.
There it is.
That's the host of the next show.
It never gets old. Yes, we are launching the Youtini Podcast Network finally. Something very unique to Youtini that not many other people in the Star Wars community are doing. We own and produce every single one of the shows that are going to be in the Youtini Podcast Network. I know a lot of people have collaborations and groups of podcasts that get together, and every single one of them is us. It's all ran from the same thing. It's going to be awesome. Everything that's in our Patreon right now, well, almost everything, minus one or two smaller projects that are exclusive to Patreon. Not small projects, they're big projects, but still. Most of our audio productions are going to be available to the public on some sort of delay. I think about a 3-month delay. The entire public will be able to get things that happened previously exclusively in our Patreon, such as like Bounty Hunt, where we get together and talk about like the Clone Wars and The Mandalorian, things like that. Lots of audio productions are all going to go to the public. So if any of you guys have an interest in what's been happening behind the scenes in the patrons, we're going to push all that stuff public as part of the Youtini Podcast Network. The patrons are still going to get all of this incredible content early, very early, 3 months early, as well as additional content that we're producing. So we're not abandoning our patrons. I mean, we realize you guys pay the bills. So we did talk to all of our patrons. We had a bunch of surveys. We had a bunch of Discord conversations. We were really careful. And I was astounded by this. Talking about the positivity and incredible community we have. Not a single person was like, you guys are going to give that away for free? I mean, that's not really cool. I mean, I'm paying for that. Not a single person. Every single person was like, whoa, that's a great idea. You should absolutely give this stuff to the public. It was beyond moving that happened.
Yeah.
That was incredible.
Can I take a second here I want to apologize to our patrons for underestimating them.
Yes. Oh my God.
I was 100% the voice in the council chat that was like, guys, this is the biggest middle finger to our patrons.
Yes.
They're going to feel so bad. And then, because I assumed that y'all were regular
It's not a
people
service.
and not the all-stars that y'all are.
Yes. They're not paying for a service. They just want to participate in this incredible thing that we've built, and that's incredible. That's incredible. That's tease number one. Youtini Podcast Network. Number two, we are launching. This is a big deal. We're launching the third of the trinity of huge Star Wars Youtini live stream productions that occur every single week. Finally, with an exclusively comics-based podcast live stream production called, this is incredible, I love this name, The Cosmic Force. Yes,
that's a great name.
It is.
It is a really good
and
name.
I hope I'm leaving it up to them. But I hope they do it in the design. The design that they gave me when they pitched The Cosmic Force was they had the S in parentheses. So if you take out the S of cosmic, it spells comic. So it says The Cosmic Force. I'm like, oh my God, it's incredible. I love it. The Cosmic Force.
I want to jump on this because we have been talking about this for so freaking long.
Yes.
Because we've realized the Living Force, we like to talk about like mostly everything. We own the fact that we're the flagship of the community, but we are books, right? We do the roundtables on the novels. We talk about the comics here and there. We dabble in a Legends release maybe, but that's our bag. That's our bag. Legends Look Back, all about the Legends, are rocking it every single week with their roundtables, now interviews, etc. But that third bit, there are so many stories being told in Star Wars comics, especially since the new canon came in. Like the Marvel Star Wars comic stuff is some of the best storytelling in Star Wars, full stop. And we don't have a show about it. So coming up this year, as Corey said, The Cosmic Force, which there are a bunch of name possibilities. When we saw that on the list, when that got submitted, we pounced like crazy.
It was no question.
Literally, Living Force and The Cosmic Force making up the universe.
Legends Look Back. You have to change your name now. You got to use Force, or you're fired. All of you.
That's it. Sorry I had to find out this way. But more info on that is going to be coming soon. We're going to reveal hosts to you. We'll tell you kind of what the format is going to be.
Yep.
But it will be, again, another weekly live show here on YouTube. All our stuff's going to live on YouTube for the foreseeable future as a reminder for all your live streams. So make sure you subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell. Wow, we've earned over an hour in before we said that. We're bad YouTubers.
I have dates.
You have dates?
I have dates. We are launching both the Youtini Podcast Network and The Cosmic Force on April 1st. Both of those are coming on April 1st, and we have
Was that a good idea?
Yeah, no. This is listen.
No one's gonna believe it now.
Oh yeah, on April Fool's Day. Oh my. All right, forget that. March 31st. We're gonna launch it on March 31st.
The same day that a new quadrilogy of Kenobi movies is gonna be announced by Disney.
Oh my God! You know what? Actually, if I am being legitimately honest, it's gonna be every Wednesday, so it actually is gonna be on the 31st of March. So okay, bullet dodge, everybody. Yeah, so there we go. The Cosmic Force, the comics Youtini show. Finally, it's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be full production, lights. We just spent like $1,000 on equipment. It's
Everything
gonna be.
You see here.
It's gonna be rad. It's gonna be rad. I'm super excited. I'm so impressed with that comics team. Special shout out to Spice Den. You guys see him in the comments a whole lot. Spice Den's on the team now. Jacob, he's gonna run. He's been one of the lead hosts, one of the producers and the lead host of the Cosmic Force. We're super stoked for that. So I'm really excited to launch this project. It's gonna be a really big deal.
Yeah. So if you thought, I'll get into comics later, don't worry. Youtini doesn't have a show yet. I don't need to spend that money.
Psych.
Sorry.
You're gonna be broke.
That's right.
Also, one last thing I want to tease out too is comics. Comics are a huge challenge, and one of the reasons that we haven't jumped on this yet is like, how the hell do you pay attention to comics? They come out every single week. Like, you have to have a relationship with a comic book store that does a pull list for you. We have designed the entire principle of this comic book show all around accessibility and ease. We're not going to cover every single new release every single week. You're not going to have to stay on top of it like that. We've designed it in a way that, like, your average reader, your average, like we said earlier, we're all just normal people. Your normal person can follow along with the show. The reading schedule will be published ahead of time. It's mostly going to be based on trade paperbacks. We don't have to collect all the single issues every single week. It's going to be incredibly, incredibly accessible, and I'm really proud of that. That's going to be awesome. I think we could actually follow along ourselves as the host, and it's reasonable. It's not a weekly thing, so it's going to be awesome. Cool.
So yeah, we did 100 of these, and we're like, all right, someone else should do it too. So, and to be, I don't think this was a worry. This show is going nowhere. We are adding. We are not taking anything away.
Yeah, that's right.
We are going to be fans of that, just as you all are. I'm so excited. But now, as we get near the end of this 100th show, of this celebration, first of all, shout out to everyone that's been hanging out in the chat at our new time, on our new platform. It's just lovely. Y'all are great. I'm so excited. I wanted to end this show with something we don't do a lot. We don't do as much of Eric's stupid game as we used to, and this is not a stupid game. Tease, that's next week. That's right, everyone. Next week, the guys gave me permission.
Oh my god!
We're gonna have an episode that includes an Eric stupid game.
It was a mistake.
Before we jump into Claudia Gray's Into the Dark. So, quick reminder here. You have 2 weeks from tonight to finish up Into the Dark before we start our roundtable on that. There will be 2 parts. But next week, a very fun, stupid game. But 100 episodes in, I think it's a nice little, it's a nice milestone. Like we've talked about it. There might be some of you that are listening to us for the first time. Maybe you decided, all right, 100th episode, let's see who these guys are. We've told you a lot about who we've been. We told you a lot about where we're going. So I would like to end tonight by just checking in, because we don't tell you what our favorite Star Wars things are on this show a lot. We comment, but we don't tell you who our favorite characters are, who our favorite movies are, and what our favorite books are. So tonight, I would like to officially, as of what is today, February 22nd, 2021, because God knows this changes every day. I want to go around, guys, and just tell the fine folks at home your favorite Star Wars movie at this moment, your favorite Star Wars book, Legends or Canon, and your favorite Star Wars character. So if you're just joining us, this is what you get. Least amount of spoilers. Charles, why don't you go first?
Can we guess what the person is going to say before they answer?
That's a great idea.
Sure. Charles,
like, how well do you think you know me after 100 episodes? It's like the newlywed game.
That's way more. Okay.
All right.
Okay.
So all right. What do you think my favorite movie is? That we'll start with movie.
Empire.
Ooh, I'm gonna hit Cheryl's from the chat. Revenge of the Sith.
I'm gonna say Revenge of the Sith as well.
Yeah, the answer is Revenge of the Sith.
Ah, dang it!
All right. And
should we just do every? All right, favorite book.
Let's do all Charles all the time.
All right, what's my favorite book?
Ooh,
this one's tougher. This one's a lot tougher.
This one is tough because my gut does say Kenobi, but I'm like, there's been some stuff you
Master and Apprentice? Is it Master and Apprentice?
Okay,
it's a good guess.
I will go Kenobi just for the safe choice.
Okay.
I think it is also Revenge of the Sith novelization.
All great answers in my top echelon, but I'm going to say my favorite book is Master and Apprentice.
Oh, dang!
So Wes takes it.
Nice.
Wes gets to take you home.
Yeah,
Wonderful.
Charles.
All right, and this one's easy. This one's easy. Who's my favorite character?
Is it Padme?
No.
Yes, Padme, but specifically when she wakes up and walks out on the balcony with
the curly hair. Oh man, that's hilarious.
Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Obviously,
Yes.
Kenobi. The only Star
The
Wars
one and
character
only.
you have a cutout of in your closet. I hope.
Yes, thank you. Thank you,
And you
Cheryl.
drink out of the top of his head.
That's right. All right, do
Wes
me
is
next. Wes is
wait,
next.
Corey. No,
wait.
You called dibs.
All right, Corey.
I got
Jeez,
dibs.
calm
All right.
down.
What's my favorite movie? This is easy.
Rogue
Empire.
One.
Yeah,
Rogue
okay.
One.
Rogue
Oh,
One.
Rogue One. Damn
Oh
it.
God, Darren going! He's drunk. What are you doing? Oh,
Because
it's Rogue
Empire
One.
is when you watch when you try to fall asleep.
That's right. That's right. No, it's Rogue One.
That
I
got
can't. I
personal.
can't watch Rogue One when I go to sleep, bro. If I watch this shit, I'm like,
It's too good.
I can't do it. All right, favorite book. This might be a surprise to you.
Ooh.
Thrawn, the original, not the original canon Thrawn.
Ooh. Okay. Ooh.
Light of the Jedi.
Okay, good guess.
Was a 10 out of 10.
Going between two. I'm gonna say Master and Apprentice.
All right, the only two books I've ever given a perfect 10 out of 10 are Light of the Jedi and what's the other one?
Lost Stars.
Ascendancy Chaos Rising.
Thrawn Ascendancy Chaos Rising is probably my favorite book right now. Like, I love Master and Apprentice. It is real tight. Like 9.9, 9.8. It's like real close between those two. I loved both of those books.
That's a lie. That was not written by James Luceno.
That's true. That's true. He hasn't written a book in a long time. Tarkin was the last James Luceno book I've read.
He's a sleepy boy, man.
He is.
All right, Wes. Let's see.
Y'all are gonna get any of mine. So
Return of the Jedi. Return of the Jedi is your favorite movie.
Phantom Menace.
I'm gonna say A New Hope.
What is it?
My favorite movie is A New Hope. You are correct.
Oh my God!
You are correct, Charles.
Nice.
I was waiting for you to just say a non-Star Wars movie, like just.
He's gonna be like Die Hard 2. Like what the hell? No, Wes, that's not the kind of podcast. Favorite book, dude?
Favorite
I
book.
don't even know, man. Do we even know you? I don't know.
You read?
I'm not even sure you can read.
And keep in mind that I've read the majority of my Star Wars books are canon, so keep that in mind.
That's true. Okay. This is hard.
Ooh. Light of the Jedi. I don't know.
I liked it. I liked it a lot, and I finished it.
And that says something.
Okay, then I'm wrong. You guys though.
Man, I don't know. I almost need to look at a timeline.
Not till next
I'm gonna say something like just totally out of left field. Most Wanted.
Okay.
Ooh.
Okay. I like the left field argument. I'm gonna go for that too. I'm gonna say like one of the Rogue One books, like Catalyst or Rebel Rising. One of those.
Okay, so I've never read Most Wanted, Catalyst, or Rebel Rising, so y'all are wrong.
Damn it!
My favorite book that I have read is Darth Bane, Path of Destruction.
Oh my God, that's not a canon book. You threw us off, you big a-hole.
Just said,
What an
keep it in
Astros
mind.
fan.
The
Oh,
majority that I
man.
read is canon.
That was predictable. That's true. We should have guessed that. Darth Bane. That's a good one. The Bane books are phenomenal. I mean, you can't go wrong with Bane.
Yeah, they're really good. And favorite character?
God.
Boba Fett.
Luke
Thrawn.
Skywalker.
My favorite character is Rey.
Really?
Rey.
Oh, nice.
That is
Character
awesome.
is Rey.
That is awesome.
I love the Rey from Nowhere storyline up until the last movie, but
Yep.
I was a big
Yep.
fan of that whole thing. So that's
So good.
All right, Eric.
All right.
Eric.
Lay it on me, boys. Movie.
I think it is Empire.
I think it's Force Awakens.
I think it is The Last Jedi.
So those are my top three.
But
good
what
on ya.
order?
As of today, it does go Empire, Last Jedi, Force Awakens. At the moment.
Very good.
Okay.
But all those have been number one at various times. So nicely done.
Favorite book? I'm gonna say Light of the Jedi.
I think you're probably right, but just to throw out something else I know you love dearly, I'm going to say Queen's Peril.
And I'm going to say Lost Stars.
I want to change my answer. If it's if it's not Light of the Jedi, it's Alphabet Squadron.
All phenomenal choices. It is Light of the Jedi.
Fantastic.
At the moment, but
Fantastic.
God.
Don't worry, Eric has
such a good
predictable
book.
recency bias. So just wait.
So here's the thing. What's my favorite character? Because
I
this
think
is
it's
hard for me.
I think it's Ahsoka. I want to say.
Yeah, that was my answer also. Like, yeah, if we're doing recent stuff, like I know you love yourself some Will Lark, but he cannot beat out Ahsoka.
Yeah. Wes, what do you got?
I'm gonna say.
Oh wait! Bail Organa. Hold on. What are we doing?
Yeah. Is it not Bail Organa?
It's got. Well, that's kind of his joke answer. I think the real one is Ahsoka.
No, I think the real one is.
And his name is John C.
Dang.
Sorry, it was too easy.
All right, what is it?
What is it?
All right. I will say there are layers to it, right? You're all right in a way. Like Ahsoka, as far as like overall, probably. As far as who am I most excited if they show up in something, it's definitely Bail Organa. As far as like if I'm reading a book and he shows up, I'll be more excited to see Bail than I will to see Ahsoka. You know
is
what
it
I mean?
Claude from The Rise of Skywalker?
It absolutely is not.
Slug looking dude.
I've had this thought recently though, because I'm like, who's my favorite characters? And I try to like justify it with myself because there's so many different things. Like Sabe is up there, Rey is up there, but for the most part, like Ahsoka is the most like I literally have a shrine to her in front of me on my desk. So
yeah,
and she's right here. I finally got the Rebels Ahsoka Funko Pop. Which is the last Ahsoka I didn't have. So
nice.
Oh wow. Okay.
We didn't do my favorite character. I don't know that I really have a favorite character either.
Oh my god, we did we?
I don't think I do. Palpatine, he's pretty good, but I don't know, man.
Well, let's say it this way, Corey. If you were reading a book, if you're reading a book and you turn a page and someone shows up, who are you most excited to see?
I am always that's a good way to answer it. I'm always really excited to see Boba Fett show up. Like I know that's a cliche answer. A lot of people love Boba Fett, but like, dude, Boba Fett, I love Boba Fett.
Let me tell you, later this year, there's gonna be a whole series.
There is Book of Boba Fett. We're gonna be here for it.
We didn't talk about it on this episode as we're wrapping up. Let's just clarify. Last week, I made a prediction about the Boba Fett teaser image, and I was 100% wrong that it is not a Boba Fett comic. It is War of the Bounty Hunters, the new comic event. For more information, follow the Cosmic Force.
That's right.
Because they'll be talking about it when it comes out later this summer.
Nice.
So, all right. We're here, guys. Let's go around one last time. 100 episodes. We've done this 100 weeks. What is your favorite moment that we've had on this show so far? And what is one thing you want to will into existence in the next 100 episodes? What's a goal? Personal goal.
Oh my God. I frequently think about what Charles has brought up multiple times. I said sometimes I'm just driving down the road. I'm reminded that Rey is that Rey's a Palpatine. I just get pissed off, and I regret saying that statement. Just for the record, like I don't. That's not true. I don't get pissed off anymore. That's stupid. It's a dumb. It's a
great moment.
It's a dumb take to have. But the fact that I said that and that like Charles remembers that, and sometimes I'm driving down the road and I just think about the fact that I said I'm just driving down the road. And I remember that Rey's a Palpatine. I get pissed off. Oh man, that was a good moment.
That was a good one. Charles, Wes, what you guys got?
This is so hard. I think I'm gonna choose the Youtinis just because I felt like that was
so much fun.
That was amazing.
Yeah. Outside of this, I might even say it's like our biggest milestone.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, totally. Wes, you got one?
One of my favorite things that this whole podcast is kind of known for is the roundtables, and inside those roundtables are the Easter eggs that Charles finds that baffles our minds.
True, man.
Out of nowhere. So
Charles is so good at that.
Yeah, all those little tidbits that kind of bring us back. You're like, oh yeah, I remember that. Oh, that's what that's from. I love that aha moment when every time we read a book.
Those are great. I'm gonna go to the chat here for a couple before getting one as well. Rob says the reabsorbed twins.
Oh my god! Oh my god, that's such a good one.
Said that initially.
Rob, I think.
That was great.
Oh my god. Yes, you got to go back. That is that's the inside joke from the Lost Stars Roundtable. I think that episode is in the 40s or the 50s, I believe.
Yeah. So that one's up there. Let's see what else we got. Cheryl says your live reading of I Jedi.
Ooh, that was intense. Patreon exclusive show. That's available to you if you become a patron. You can see that. I get wasted and read I Jedi. Jesus.
Cheryl says when Corey picked Porkins for his Starfighter squad.
Oh my God, I'm never gonna live that down.
Not at all. Let's see. I'm
terrariums.
Say
they mentioned the terrariums in there too.
The terrarium updates were great. I'm gonna say, one like Wes, you said a kind of like a general thing you love that we do a lot. The fact that we interview Star Wars authors is amazing to me, and the fact that I got to tell Claudia Gray that she got me into Star Wars is like a moment I'm gonna just kind of cherish.
Oh, yeah.
And that's because of this show. It's because of everything we've been able to do. And simultaneously, I think the earnest friendships we've been able to form with people like Kevin Scott and George Mann that have kind of evolved beyond like business interviews to like friendships that we actually discuss things and laugh. And that bit, the humanization of it all has been huge for me. And boys, if we had to have one thing we want to do in the next 100, I know we're always building, we're always going bigger.
That's 2 years. Roughly 2 years worth of content.
2 years.
In 2 years. That's crazy. I can tell you what I want.
Man,
I want
go for it.
I want our party that we're inevitably going to throw at Celebration to be one of the most memorable events of our lives. That's what I want to will into existence. I want that.
Yeah.
I want our tech to be at a place that we can easily host a live show, like in front of a crowd. Like, I hope we have a packed house. I hope that it is the biggest thing. I hope it's my greatest accomplishment so far is I throw the most fun party ever for Youtini at Celebration. And like, I hope that a lot of people in our community that maybe didn't have tickets to this celebration, I hope they get to come and like participate in it, or we get to involve them in some way. I hope that it's a huge success. That's my will into
That's
existence.
a great one.
Awesome.
That's a great one. Man, Charles West, what you guys got?
I think I am hoping to look back at episode 100 in the same fashion that we looked back at episode 0 tonight.
Oh my God, that's a great one too.
Absolutely.
I want to see that growth. I want to see, us grow individually, but also as a show and certainly as a community, both in terms of numbers and just what the show represents for all of us.
Okay, so I'll piggyback on both of y'all's. I hope that the four of us do a live show together, like in the same space. Whether it be Celebration,
y'all.
Yeah.
Whether it be Celebration or a bar inside like a studio, that would be great.
Yeah.
Just we're all in the same space and we can see and feel each other's reactions. It'd be great.
Yeah. No, we okay, a little behind the scenes too. We have talked that post our little Fauci ouchies, which is my family calls the vaccines. Once that's done, at some point we're gonna get a Youtini retreat cabin, bring all of our equipment, and do some kind of live stream where we just drink and talk about Star Wars in the same space. So yes, to that, I will say I want to piggyback off Charles's thing. I want the Youtinis, either the next one or the next one. I want us to give awards to authors and get video responses or some kind of interaction for the awards to like become that a little bit of legitimacy to one, recognize these people and let them know they're being recognized and let them know how much we love their work and to involve them in the show. So that's my goal, is to bring them onto the Youtinis in some way or some fashion in the next 2 years. So all that being said, none of that is possible without all of you that are listening and that are watching. I mean, we've said it so many times, but this is what this episode's for. We love you guys. This is so great. This is why we do this every week. I'm so excited to hang out with you all for years to come on the Living Force. And on that note, say it with me, that'll do it for this week's episode of the Living Force. If you're already supporting us on Patreon, go on, head over to Discord. We're going to have a great aftermath after show to hang out and celebrate. A special thank you goes out to Cheryl Bell, Patrick Ortiz, and Carl Sander on our Jedi High Council. Kyle Hickman, Elizabeth Cloutier, Jason Mitchell, Freddie Sieve, and Sally and Chris Eilerson and our Alliance High Command for your amazing of the first 100 episodes of The Living Force and more. You can find us on Twitter. I'm at Eric Eilerson. Corey is at Doc Star Wars MD. Charles is at C. Hankles. Wes is at Boss Wes. A special thank you to Matt Davenport, our amazing editor. Ryan, our graphic designer extraordinaire with all these new graphics. And Wes, you producer and community manager, you. It's going well. Thanks to Corey, Charles, and Wes for podcasting with me. Thanks to all of you for hanging out. We will see you next week right here on YouTube. And as always, may the Force be with you.